Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Be welcome to my small presentation on the intervention plan cycles that we have to do for PPI 3, right? So let's begin. The name of the lesson is Amazing String Sports Around the World. The general objective of the lesson is students should be able to have a basic discussion on sports to recognize and to differentiate the different sports presented in class. The time is 1 week. It depends on the hours that students weekly receive in each school. So let's begin. Well, let's start with the motivation phase. The aim is to motivate students to join the class and well receive the topics given. And the description of the stage is students are asked to stand up, to stretch, and to hop out when the whistle rings, just for waking them up and making them ready for the class. Uh, and the other one is students are going to play hot potato. The student's target will do 5 push-ups. This type of interaction is teacher-student, and the resources needed are going to be a whistle and a ball. The time is 5 minutes. This is not too long because then the students are going to think that all the class is going to be a game. Well, now in the input phase, the aim is to present the topic and activate the knowledge students have on string sports. And well, let's follow up with the explanation of this stage. The teacher is going to show students images of different string sports, and then he is going to explain the students what are the string sports, and the students have to quickly draw a picture that represents that sport that caught most their attention. Here I have some images that I have for showing them. These are not all the images, but these are like the basic ones they're going to need in order to activate the knowledge. And well, these are going to be necessary for the activity. And some of the vocabulary is skateboarding, BMX, motocross, car racing, bungee jumping, skiing, stunts, skydiving, rolling, climbing, driving, helmet, body protection, knee pads, elbow pads, etc. This interaction is teacher-student because the teacher is going to be the one leading them. And the resources needed are going to be the images, paper, pencil, board, and the vocabulary list, of course. The time for this session is like 60 minutes because it's a very, I would say it's a large activity. It's going to take some time. Maybe it's going to take more than one class, so that's why I took this time. Well, let's continue with with the focus. Oh, sorry, with the focus working phase. To notice, the aim is to notice how much the students know about their favorite string sport. And the description of the stage is now that students received a good introduction on sports, they are going to be working on the description of their favorite sport, string sport. This stage, the students are allowed to ask teacher doubts on words. After that, some students are going to read what they wrote and simply explain their favorite sport. Well, another activity is that students are going to express what sports did not like and why. In this section, students are able to ask questions and to share information with other students. Well, I'm going to edit something here. It's teacher students and it's also student this one because they're going to share information with other students. And the resources needed are going to be images, drawings, board, and markers. For this activity, I'll take 60 minutes because I think like the whole class is going to participate, so it's not an easy job, that it takes time for the ones who have already practiced in a classroom. The transfer application phase, the aim is to show what students learned in the class, and the description of the stage is that students are going to work in pairs, and based on what they learned in the class, they're going to ask each other what was their favorite sport and why. Then the teacher will pick up some students to publicly explain their preferences on sports. The teacher is going to select a specific string sport presented in the class. Then he is going to point a student, and that student is going to express what he knows about that sport. Um, well, this is a student-student interaction, and the resources are going to be questions and drawings. And for this is 30 minutes because it's not that much. They don't have to do many things. And in the closing phase, the aim is to conclude the class and give homework to the students. The teacher gives the students a simple speech on string sports and the importance of security. Finally, the teacher writes a homework on the board where students need to spot different objects that work to protect the body in the string sports. This activity is related to that one where I was talking about security, about elbow pads. So they're going to be related with the previous knowledge. And it's a teacher-student interaction. Here I have the speech. It's not that long, but it's something like really simple for the students to understand better. And well, if you want, you can stop the video and read it. But we are going on. I don't want to make this longer because I know it's going to be hard for me to upload a video on YouTube. Mm, well, this is a teacher-student interaction. The resources are board, markers, the speech, and we're going to take 30 minutes for this because we want to end this in the same class. Now let's go on with the second cycle. The name of the lesson is Variety of Melody Styles. The general objective of the lesson is students should be able to distinguish among the different types of music and also express their feelings on music. The time is 1 week again, depending on the hours the school has on English. And well, for starting this, let's start with the motivation phase to make the students get interested in class and have fun while singing. And well, in this stage, um, the students are going to play hot potato in the motivation phase. Students are going to play hot potato. You know, this is a very famous game, and I think it's pretty interesting. So we're going to make this get related to the class because the student pointed, the one who is going to be chosen, needs to say, well, wait a second. We have to sing a part of the song, whether in Spanish or English, but he has to say the genre of the song. So, well, maybe they're going to get some kind of knowledge activated. Okay, let's go on. It's a teacher-student interaction. Well, I would say it's an interaction among all the participants of the class too. And well, the resources can be a ball of paper, a marker, I don't know, whatever you're going to replace for the potato. And if 5 minutes for, and the time is 5 minutes for each activity because the other activity is that students are going to run up and play the broken telephone. You know, this is a very fun game, so maybe they're going to get attached to the class because they're going to laugh a lot, maybe because of the mistakes they're going to make in the broken telephone. So we all know the structure of this game. And now going to the input phase, we're going to introduce the students to different types of music. And in this stage, what is going to happen is that the teacher is going to play different parts of songs and explain what type of song it is. Then he's going to clarify the doubts when students have with music. Maybe they don't recognize the genre, so he will ease the doubts. So here we have some vocabulary related. These are going to be the songs used, well, the music genres used in the class because these are the most common ones. Of course, there are many more, but we don't want to make it hard for them to understand. This is a teacher-student interaction, and we're going to need a speaker, a board, and markers. We're going to take 60 minutes because, you know, sometimes they don't know what they're going to do, so we need to explain again, so it's going to take a little bit. And continue with the focus working phase. Uh, the aim is to introduce the students, musicians, and their music style. In this stage, the teacher is going to show some pieces of images of famous singers around the world and in the country. Then each student is going to write in their notebook the name of the singer and one or two names of his or her songs. Then the student need to write what is the genre the singer sings. They can work out as a group and help students that have no idea what to answer. It is like a complementary activity. And the other one is students are going to draw on the board something that is related to music, anything, and they are going to be graded depending on their activity. on their creativity. Sorry. Then, among all the students, they are going to discuss what genre each drawing better represents. This is a student-student interaction. Here I have an example of some of the images that I'm going to show from some singers. Of course, this is not all. This is Diomedes Diaz, Shakira, Dr. Dre, Kevin Flores. But of course, there are many more that are also known to around the country and around the world. Well, let's continue. I was here. So now let's go to the transfer application phase. The aim is to assess how much students have learned about music. Um, in this stage, each student is going to work individually, but he needs to say what his favorite type of music and why. Who is his favorite singer, and they need to sing a phrase of the favorite song of that singer. Then they share that information with their partners. So we want to make this like a little bit more fun for the students to be related to the other students. You know, maybe they share knowledge about music, maybe they like the same kind of singers. So well, that's going to make them get together and gather up. And the other activity is that students are going to create a song with his title and two sentences of the lyrics. Then he's going to represent it to his partners, and depending on the lyrics of the song, the other students are going to guess what the genre of the song is. You know, sometimes, like, I don't know if it's a stereotype or not, but there are some kind of music genres that, well, try to focus their lyrics in a specific topic. So, well, that's going to work for them. Maybe they're going to feel related to that. This is a student-student interaction. The resources needed are notebook, board, and markers. We're going to take 30 minutes for this. Although I think we should spend more time here, but well, that's the desired time. And in the closing phase, to make students, the aim is to make students overview what they learned in class and make them investigate more. Well, the description of the stage. The teacher sets a homework for the students. They need to choose 5 types of music and write down one song of each type of music to share in class with their classmates. You know, this is an easy homework. I just want the students to, when they get home, they look for it, they just don't forget what they learned in class. And maybe with this, some kind of knowledge is going to be saved in their mind. And this is a teacher-student interaction, but I'm going to add student interaction because at the next class, they're supposed to share what they found out at home with the other students. They're going to need a notebook and the other resource is the homework. And we're going to take 60 minutes for this. Well, so maybe some of you are asking like, why is this cycle so simple? Both of them are simple because my thoughts, my insights on teaching is that maybe we do not try to like teach hard topics, but something simple. Because if we teach something simple, the students at least are going to get something and are going to feel more gathered with the class, more related to it. Because sometimes when you try to teach hard stuff, they're going to get bored and maybe they're going to feel like pretty unable to learn it, so it can cause problems of them and maybe they can get fired of the class. So this is why my cycles are pretty simple, but well, uh, it is what it is. So thank you very much for if you are still here listening to this and watching this video. Thank you for watching it, and well, I hope you can comment me anything you think is going to help me. So we all are here to help each other. So thank you very much, and well, I hope you all have a good lockdown. It's pretty boring, and bye. Au revoir.